Retell Little Red Riding Hood and what the problem was and how it was solved is one of the choices on your e-learning menu for reading. It's been a little bit since we read through this book, so I thought it would be a great time for us to go back and read it together. Little Red Riding Hood. What page would this be? If we were holding this as a book, what would we call this? Great, we would call it the front cover. What would we call this page? Great, it would be the title page. This is Little Red Riding Hood. It's retold by Heather Amory and illustrated by Stephen Cartwright. This is Little Red Riding Hood and her mother. They live near a big, dark forest. Her name comes from a bright red cloak with a hood that her granny made her. Please take this food to your granny. She's poorly in bed, says her mother. Go through the forest, but don't talk to any strangers you meet on the way. Little Red Riding Hood waves goodbye. Let's stop and make a prediction. What do you think? Is Little Red going to talk to some strangers? I see something in the illustration that gives me a clue of what could happen. She walks into the forest with her basket. She doesn't see the big black wolf watching her from behind a tree. Can you spot the wolf? Suddenly, the wolf is on the path. Where are you going? He asks. I'm taking this food to my granny, says Red Riding Hood, feeling very scared. The wolf smiles a horrible smile. Take your granny some flowers, he says. Red Riding Hood is even more scared. Yes, Mr. Wolf, she says. Red Riding Hood stops to pick some flowers. The wolf smiles again, showing his sharp teeth. Then he runs away through the forest. He is very, very hungry. Make a prediction. Where do you think this wolf is going to go? The wolf reaches Granny's cottage. Granny is sitting up in bed. The wolf pushes open the door and runs in. He gobbles up Granny in one gulp. Oh no. He climbs into Granny's bed. He puts on her nightcap and glasses. He pulls the quilt up and waits for Red Riding Hood to come. Red Riding Hood knocks on Granny's door. It's me, Granny, she says. Come in, my dear, calls the wolf in a squeaky voice. I'm in my bedroom. Hello, Granny, says Red Riding Hood. Then she stares. What big eyes you've got, she says. All the better to see you with, squeaks the wolf. What big ears you've got, says Red Riding Hood. All the better to hear you with, squeaks the wolf. Red Riding Hood drops her flowers. She is very scared indeed. What big teeth you've got, she says. All the better to eat you with, Red Riding Hood screams, but the wolf gobbles her up. Then he gets back into bed. A woodsman hears the scream. He runs as fast as he can to the cottage. He goes in the door and straight into Granny's bedroom. He sees the wolf and he kills it. Inside the wolf are Red Riding Hood and her granny. They are alive and very happy to be rescued. Thank you for saving us, says Granny. The wolf can never scare anyone again. And they all sit down at the table to have cake and coffee. The end. So, with someone in your house, why don't you talk about what the problem was in the story, and then talk about the solution or how that problem was solved.